Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to go through how to invest for beginners with a small budget. So I'm going to go through how I went from a beginner investor at 19 years old, investing my first $5,000, to now having a net worth at 24 of almost $400,000 with my boyfriend. First $100,000 is always the most difficult, but after you reach the first $100,000, it gets easier and easier and easier. So if I can do it, you can do it as well. So why is investing important? Most people don't want to start investing because they're afraid of losing money, which I totally understand. But did you know that if you leave your money in cash, you're already losing money because of something called inflation? Every year, our money is worth about 2% less because of inflation, which means that our money loses its buying power over time. Have your parents or grandparents ever told you about how they could buy a can of Coke for 5 cents and now it costs $2.50? Well, that's because of inflation. Essentially, the price of everything goes up. So if we leave all of our money in a savings account, essentially our money is becoming worth less over time. And that's why I started investing, because I didn't want my money to be eaten away by inflation in a savings account. And the stock market and the real estate market has given investors returns of from 5 to 7% per year. And these returns can really compound over time. So the earlier we can start investing, the better, because this means that we will have even more money by the time that we retire. For example, if you invest $500 every single month for 30 years with a 7% interest rate, after 30 years you will have $609,000. But if you started 10 years earlier, you will have $1.3 million, and that is the power of compound interest. And that is why the rich just keep on getting richer, because essentially their money just keeps on making more money without them having to do anything. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about investing and personal finance. So this is how you can get started investing with a small budget. And please keep in mind that I'm not a financial advisor. These are just the steps that I personally took to start investing with a small budget. So the first thing that I did was I set up an emergency fund. Before I started investing, I had an emergency fund of from 3 to 6 months of my living expenses. And this is because I do want to keep my money in ETFs and in the stock market for a really long time. And if I lose my job or any emergencies pop up, I really don't want to be dipping into my investing money unless I really need to. And that's why I do like to have an emergency fund, which is a bit of a cash buffer just in case anything happens. So the next thing that I did was I tried to increase my income as much as possible. When I first moved out of home at 19, I was only earning $400 per week, which was really barely enough to pay for my rent, my bills, my groceries, and my electricity. So what I tried to do was I tried to find extra ways to earn even more money. I got myself a full-time job after I dropped out of university. I started doing freelancing and marketing, and I started doing side hustles. And this really helped me increase my income so that I could save and invest even more money. So for me, earning $400 per week, the most that I could ever save is $400 per week, whereas the amount of money that I can make potentially is limitless. So that's why I decided to invest most of my time in trying to increase my income as much as possible so I could comfortably save and invest more money, because it really wasn't fun living paycheck to paycheck and being worried about being able to pay my bills every single week. And even as I did start to earn even more money, I didn't try to increase my lifestyle that much, because then I'm able to save and invest even more money. I think getting sucked into lifestyle inflation was something that I did want to avoid if I did want to achieve all of my financial goals, like buying a home. So the next thing that I did was I started looking into different options to invest in. So there were 2 types of investments that I was really attracted to at that stage, and that was robo-advisors, which means that essentially I could invest a pool of money and it would automatically diversify my investments for me without even me having to pick my investments or really have to think about it that much. And the other option that I looked into was ETFs, which is a basket of different shares. So instead of buying into just one Apple stock, I could invest in the top 500 biggest companies in the US. However, I did decide to go with a robo-advisor because with ETFs, I didn't really like that option too much because it required me having to get a brokerage account and I wasn't too confident in investing myself yet. So I decided to go with a robo-advisor, and I think that that can be a really great first investment, and it definitely helped me. There are now heaps of other micro investing apps on the market. So if you are in Australia, you can have a look at CommSec Pocket, Raise and Spaceship. They don't have very big fees, especially if you do only have a small amount of money to invest like I did at the time. And if you are in the US, you can also check out Webull and Robinhood. And by the way, I have a link in my description below to Webull. If you sign up using my link, you'll get 4 free stocks. However, if I had less than $1,000 to invest, I would definitely check out some of those micro investing apps like CommSec Pocket, Raise or Spaceship if you are in Australia, because CommSec Pocket only has a $2 brokerage fee for their ETFs. Raise and Spaceship also waive their fees if your balance is less than $5,000. So if I was doing my time again and I had $1,000 to invest, I would definitely have a look at those options. I went with StockSpot, but they do have a minimum balance of $5,000 to get started with investing. But they are also another really great option to invest if you're not quite sure what you want to invest in. And I also have a link in my description below to StockSpot. And if you sign up using my link, you can also get $5,000 managed completely for free. Now, I personally use CMC Markets to invest in the Australian stock market and the international stock market because my international stocks are actually free brokerage, and in Australia, it only costs $11. So the next step for me was figuring out what kind of investor I wanted to be and what I personally wanted to invest in. But some things to consider when you are a beginner investor is to definitely try to manage your risk. Investing in ETFs and index funds can be really boring to me. I'm not going to lie, but they do give me stable returns of from 7 to 10% per year, and they don't go through the crazy highs and lows as some other more speculative stocks like penny stocks and also cryptocurrency. So before I started investing in some more speculative things like individual stocks, penny stocks, and cryptocurrency, I did want to make sure that I had the right foundations laid, and I was investing in more safer options like ETFs, because even if I do buy into the S&P 500 and let's say for example something happens with Apple and the share price drops heaps, it doesn't really affect my overall portfolio that much because I still do have another 499 other companies to fall back on. And that's the reason why a lot of investors don't actually beat the market when they are investing in individual stocks. And that's also why a lot of really great professional investors such as Warren Buffett do recommend that people invest in ETFs and index funds over picking individual stocks. I think it's also important to start working out how much money you realistically can invest per month. And this is different for everybody. For example, if you're making $40,000 per year, it might be quite difficult to save and invest 20% of your income. However, if you are earning $200,000 per year, saving and investing 20% of your income might be pretty easy for you. So potentially you could invest more of your income. But at the end of the day, it all depends on you, how much money you make, and your own investing goals and your own lifestyle. Ultimately, we do want to still enjoy the lives that we do have today, and we don't want to just keep on saving and investing all of our money for the future, because we do only live once after all. But I think it is important to really work out a budget and work out how much money you realistically can invest with the money that you do make. Another thing which has really helped me is trying not to get too caught up in the highs and lows of the market. So what's happening with my portfolio today? I'm down 4%. I'm up 15%! And I know that's easier said than done. I'm not gonna lie, I do check my portfolio way more than I should, but I really do try to stop myself from panic selling every time my stocks do go down, because it is quite normal for the stock market to go through highs and lows. So I try to keep my money there no matter what the market is doing, and I try to make the exact same investment at the same time so I can dollar cost average into my investments. And finally, something that I didn't know when I was a beginner investor, but I'm really happy I know now, is that if you hold on to your shares for at least 12 months, you'll actually get a 50% discount on capital gains. So this is something that you should keep in mind whenever you are buying or selling shares or even cryptocurrency, because you will need to pay tax on any capital gains that you do get from your investments. And I also like to use a website called ShareSite, which helps me track my stock market portfolio, and it also helps me produce a tax report at the end of the financial year, which I can give to my accountant. And this also puts in my capital gains and how much money I've made from the stock market, so I can easily work out my tax. And it also helps me track my portfolio and see how it's performing over time. So if you would like to check it out, I've got a link in my description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did like this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos about investing and personal finance. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! And if you'd like to see some more videos, I've got some links to some videos here, so make sure you click the links and click through to another video.